You know that feeling, right? You're staring at a list of numbers. Maybe it's sales figures or research data or your monthly expenses, and you just feel lost. It's this chaotic jumble. And you just know there's a story in there somewhere, but you have no idea how to find it. Well, that's one of the most basic challenges we all face. We are drowning in data, but absolutely starving for real, useful information. Welcome to MiniWeb2. Today, we are going to tackle this exact problem head-on. We're going to show you the single most important first step in any kind of data analysis, a step that turns all that chaos into crystal clear clarity. All right, let's get into it. Here's what we're covering. First up, we'll talk about why we're all drowning in data. Then, we'll get into the sorting struggle, why this simple task is so often a huge pain. After that, we'll uncover the incredible power you get from just putting things in order. Then, I'll show you an instant solution that does it all in seconds. And finally, we'll wrap up our whole journey, from chaos to clarity. So, let's start with part 1, drowning in data. The whole goal here is to figure out how we get from that messy jumble of numbers to clear information that you can actually do something with. This slide really hits on a crucial point. See, on the left, you've got raw data. It's just a cloud of numbers with no rhyme or reason. But on the right, you have information. Now, what's the big difference? It's not the numbers themselves. They're exactly the same. The only thing that's changed is order. That simple act of sorting is what starts to turn raw data into something that actually makes sense. Okay, let's move on to our second section and build on this idea. We're talking about the sorting struggle. Now, if arranging numbers is so powerful, why isn't everyone doing it all the time? Well, as a lot of you probably know, in the real world, it can be a massive headache. And here is the first reason why. Our data is almost never clean. It's not just sitting in a perfect little spreadsheet column. Nope. It's trapped inside an email, it's scattered through a paragraph, it's separated by commas, spaces, new lines, you name it. And the thought of having to go in and manually pull out every single number, it's enough to make anyone just give up. Which, of course, brings us to the next big problem, tool overload. You think, okay, I'll just throw this in a spreadsheet, but then the questions start piling up. What's the right function for this? Why is it treating my numbers like they're words? Before you know it, a task that should have taken 10 seconds has turned into a 20-minute Google search for some obscure software function. And that leads to the third, and honestly, the most dangerous problem of all, human error. I mean, if you're manually trying to sort a list of, say, 50 expense reports or 100 survey answers, the odds are pretty high you're going to make a mistake. You might miss a number or switch 2 digits, turning a 35 into a 53, and that one tiny error can throw off your entire conclusion. It's a huge risk. So we know sorting can be a pain, and it can be risky. But now, let's get to the good stuff. Section 3, the power of order. I'm about to show you 3 critical insights that are completely hidden in a messy list, but become glaringly obvious the second you sort it. First things first, there are 2 main ways to create order. You've got ascending order, which is just sorting from smallest to largest. This is perfect for things like tracking your progress over time or finding a starting point. And then you've got descending order, largest to smallest. This is your go-to for making rankings like a top 10 list of your best products or finding your most important data points. And just by doing that, we unlock our very first insight. You can instantly find the extremes. Seriously, think about it. In a random list of numbers, how long would it take you to find the absolute highest and the absolute lowest? You'd have to scan the entire thing. The moment it's sorted, you just look at the top and the bottom. Boom! You immediately know your minimum and your maximum with 100% certainty. These are your outliers, and they're often the most important clues in your data. The second insight is that sorting helps you find the true center of your data by showing you the median. Now, we all know about the average, where you add everything up and divide, but the average, well, the average can lie to you. The median is different. It's the number that is physically in the middle of a sorted list. And this next slide shows you exactly why that is so important. Let's use a classic example to see why this matters. Home prices. Imagine you have 4 homes priced at $100,000. But then there's one giant mansion on the street for $1 million. The average price is $280,000. That's completely misleading. It doesn't represent a typical home in that neighborhood at all. But when we sort the list, the median, the number in the middle, is $100,000. That's the accurate, truthful story. And you simply cannot find the median without sorting your numbers first. And that brings us to our third big insight. You can instantly see the spread or the distribution of your data. As soon as your list is sorted, you can see its shape. For instance, Are all the numbers packed tightly together, like these test scores that are all between 80 and 85? This tells you right away that the results were super consistent. Now compare that with this chart. Here the data is all over the place, spread from 10 all the way to 90. This tells a completely different story, one with a lot of variation, a lot of inconsistency. A sorted list makes this pattern, this shape of your data, visible in a single glance. This all boils down to one essential point. Sorting is the foundation for pretty much all data visualization. You can't make a clean bar chart or a histogram or any kind of ranked list without putting your data in order first. I love this analogy on the slide. Sorting is the clean your room of data analysis. It's that first step you just have to do before you can do anything else meaningful. So, we know why sorting is so critical, but what about all those problems we talked about? The messy data, the confusing tools, the risk of making a mistake? Well, that brings us to section 4, your instant solution, where we turn that annoying task into a 2-second fix. This is where a simple, specialized tool is an absolute game changer. With the MiniWeb Tool Number Sorter, the entire process is just 3 easy steps. 1. You paste anything. That messy list from your email, a document, whatever. 2. You choose your order, ascending or descending. And 3. You get your perfectly sorted results right away. So let's see how this directly solves all of our earlier problems. Remember that messy data? The tool cleans it up for you automatically, so that pain point is gone. Worried about complex functions? There aren't any. The tool overload problem is solved. And what about the risk of human error? Totally eliminated. You get 100% accurate results every single time. It just works. And that brings us to our final section, from chaos to clarity. Let's just do a quick recap of what we've learned on our journey from noisy, messy data to something that actually has meaning. Here are your key takeaways. First, and this is the most important one, sorting is what turns raw, useless data into valuable information. Second, a sorted list immediately shows you the really critical insights, the extremes, your min and max, the true center, which is the median, in the spread of your data. And finally, the biggest takeaway for your day-to-day work, you do not need to do this boring task by hand anymore. A simple, focused tool can give you instant clarity without any of the frustration. So the next time you're staring at a chaotic list of numbers, don't just try to eyeball it and guess what's going on. Remember that in just a couple of seconds, you can find the real story that's hidden inside. So I'll just leave you with this question. Are you ready to unlock the story hidden in your numbers? We really hope this explainer helped you see your data in a whole new light. For more explainers just like this one that turn complex problems into simple, powerful solutions, be sure to subscribe to MiniWeb Tool.